Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. So all week we've been talking about miracles and goals and what's within our control, what's outside of our control, and creation and truth. And today I kind of want to bring this little theme full circle. And I was talking about this whole theme with my friend Robert Holden. He's a big fan of A Course in Miracles, and he writes beautiful books about miracles and love and happiness and success. And he shared that in A Course in Miracles, it talks about miracles as involving a shift in perception. But a shift in perception not so much from one point of view to another, as from a limited sense of self, what we might call the personality, or the ego mind, or the little mind, or me, to a larger sense of self, our essential spiritual nature, the big mind, universal mind, divine mind. So each time we reorient ourselves towards the source of creation and away from its effect, each time we shift our perception, or our perception shifts from little me to big me, from the personality to the higher self, from my human nature to my spiritual nature, both of which are present at all times. But each time I do that, I experience it as a miracle. And I get fresh insight into the nature of the human experience, and I'm liberated from my own crazy stuck thinking. And surprisingly often, new opportunities to create what I want to see in the world of form start to appear. You know, as a kid, when I was first doing what my friend David and I call spiritual spelunking, just beginning to explore the nature of thought and consciousness and all things esoteric, and I don't know what the opposite of esoteric is. Teric? I think actually the opposite of esoteric is in plain sight, not hidden. I always think of esoteric as being like the elusive obvious, something which once you see it, it's very apparent, but till you see it, it's completely invisible. Well, back when we started our spiritual spelunking, I described my experience of that shift between the two selves like this. I would say, sometimes I feel like Michael loving God, and sometimes I feel like God loving Michael. Now, there's a whole other God conversation that we can possibly have in a future podcast, and it's probably not the one you think, whichever way you think it. But if I was going to attempt to translate and summarize all of this week's podcasts back into the language, let's get away from God and spirit and back into the language of goals and miracles. Here's how I might say it. And I call this a creator's prayer. May we be blessed with the courage to create what is ours to create, the serenity to accept both miracles and life's unfolding along the way, and the wisdom and insight to know the difference. Have fun, learn heaps, happy creating, and I'll talk with you soon.